Good afternoon, hockey fans, and welcome to today's Midwest High School Hockey League game between the visiting Cedar Rapids Rough Riders and your Dubuque Saints. JV warm-ups are underway. About 2 minutes left in that. We'll get started. Thanks for listening. We'll see you then. Just about to drop the puck here. We'll get the Netherlands line out with Mueller and Poles. Puck's down. We're ready to go. Dubuque's got it. Cedar Rapids takes it back behind their own net. Knocked in by Waddick. Poked loose by Netherly. It scoots over to the near side. Now sent out to the far side by Cedar Rapids, and they'll clear the zone. Waddick dumps it back in. Hops over the rider's stick into the corner. Gavin will chase it behind the net. Big hit there. Stolen by Mueller on the near boards. Now Netherly steps in. Cedar Rapids carries it out to neutral ice. Ruiz knocks his man out the puck. Netherly takes it up the far side. Dumps it into the zone. He'll head off for a change. Cedar Rapids will regroup behind their own net. Carries it out. Just past Pulls. Sheehy's got it at center ice. Walks into the zone. Knocked off his stick on the boards. Michael Pulls gets it over to Sheehy. Sheehy centers. Just off the stick of Heacock. Back out to Henry at the point. Over to Sagers. Shot on the net. Popped up there. Now it's Sheehy in the corner. Sends it back out to Sagers from the blue line. Shot. Kicked wide. Battled on the near boards. Pulls will force them back behind the net. Hard off the boards on the far side. Henry dumps it back in. The Riders will carry it back out to neutral ice. Into the attacking zone. Knocked back behind the Dubuque net. Colton Stoll manning the pipes today for Dubuque. Deutsch out. He's got it at center ice. Carries it into the attacking zone. Takes it wide. Down around the face-off dot. Centering pass to Pierce. Can't quite bury it there. Now it's kicked back up to Spangler. She'll dump it back down. The Riders send it back up to neutral ice. They'll take it into the zone. Shot from the top of the circle, just over the net. Ben Zick tries to bang it out the boards. Shot fired wide over to Pierce on the far side. He gets it out to neutral ice. Pierce now run off the boards on the far side. Riders will circle behind their own net. Deutsch will apply the pressure. They'll counter back. Knocked off the puck out in front. Now back to the corner. Cedar Rapids has got it there. Cade Weiner with the puck. Dances down the boards. Now on the goal line, out in front. Puck trickles just wide. Off to the far corner. Battled there. It's Deutsch walks out. Puck rolls off his stick. Now he's got his own rebound. Fired wide of the net. Weiner can't quite get a piece of it. And the Riders will clear the zone. Out to their own attacking zone. Backhanded in. Blocked by Zick. He'll bang it up the boards out to center ice. Mueller throws a big hit. He'll get penalized for that. And we get our first whistle of the game. CJ Mueller headed to the box. 2 minutes roughing. Saints will send out Gavin Nethery. Corbin Deutsch on the penalty kill. They're backed by Henry and Ruiz. Riders have the puck on the near boards. That's Boatman there. Gets it back to the point. They'll go D to D from the top of the circle. Shot blocked in front by Deutsch. Kicked all the way back to the far zone. The Riders will go back and pick it up. Left behind the net there. Now the Riders carry it up the far side in front of the scorer's table. Through neutral ice, they'll drop it into the zone. Knocked loose there by Deutsch. Now it's Henry up the far side. He's 1-on-2. Carries it into the zone anyway. Nice job. Poked loose there. Fresh legs out on the ice for the Saints. Walk down to the far corner. Now they'll spin and try and collect at the top of the circle. Sheehy's got it. Sends it out to center ice. Heacock will press the issue. Chases behind the net. Centering pass up to the middle. Sheehy's got it again. Backhands it into the zone. Caught there at the blue line. Still struggling. Now they'll dump it into the near corner. Zick will go back to get it. He's got it on the goal line there. Plays it behind the net. Off to Seegers. Out to the blue line. Shot. Kicked wide by Stoll. Up to the near point. They'll dump it down to the top of the circle. Shot. Saved by Stoll. Wrapped around to the corner. Back to the point. They'll go D to D. Shot from the point. Wide of the net. Backhander. Locked in front. Again, hard to the point. D to D. Loose puck. And covered by Stoll. Clock didn't run for any of that. 16 seconds left on the Mueller penalty. His line mates Poles and Netherly will step out on the ice. I'm sure he'll join them here in a short time. They're backed by Henry and Spangler. Puck's down. Henry's got it now. Circles back behind the net. Takes it to the far corner. Hard off the boards. All the way out to center ice. Rapids loses an edge at center ice. Dumps into the zone again. Referee Larson just avoided a slap shot there from Liam Henry. Saints back at full strength. Mueller's out there. Dumps it back into the zone. Chase Pulse chases behind the goal line. It's the Saints, or the Riders regroup in the corner. We'll send it around the boards. Kicked off the boards there, and they'll clear the zone off the center ice. Fired back in the zone by Nethery. He'll go for a change. Excuse me, the Riders carry the puck out through center ice. Big 12-6 chop there by Mueller. Sent across by Ruiz out to Weiner. Center ice hits the brakes. And we're going to get a trip. So the Riders head to the bench, or the box. It's like nap. 2 minutes for tripping. The Saints will send out at the power play of Weiner, Pierce, Sheehy, Deutsch, and Ruiz. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Dubuque controls on the near boards. Now Cedar Rapids has it. They'll carry it out of the zone. Dumped into the stands. Puck's down. Dubuque puts it into the zone. Cade Weiner will chase it down. Can't quite win the race. Cedar Rapids player hits the eject button and goes flying on his own. Deutsch now at the point. Walks it down to the top of the faceoff dot. Gives it behind the net to Pierce. Shot out in front. Glove down by Cedar Rapids. Deutsch now in the far corner. Run off the puck there. Still maintains control though. Cross ice pass to Ruiz. Faceoff dot. Tipped in front. Yeah, Pierce got a piece of it as it was headed directly into the net. Now it's Deutsch. Shot. Nobody knows. Under saved.
I think he had the corner.
So a minute 17 left on this power play. He steps in for the faceoff again. Saints will leave the same line out. Puck's down. Sheehy gets it back. Deutsch gives it off to Ruiz. Off to Deutsch. Can't quite handle it there. Cedar Rapids will clear and send it the length. Stoll with the stop. Sends it up to Ruiz. Ruiz now out of the zone. Turns it over there. Riders on a breakaway. Michael Poles with a nice back check. Saints not out of the woods yet as they still fight for it behind the net. Hands off to Deutsch. Deutsch gives it up. Kicked out to the blue line. Man all alone in front. Can't get a piece of it. Weiner battles for it, and he's got it on the far side. Got Mueller streaking down. Doesn't get him, and that's offsides. .30 seconds left on the power play as we'll get Nethery, Pulse, and Mueller. Puck's down. Cedar Rapids controls. Clears the zone. Knocked down at center ice by Heacock. He'll drop off for... doesn't matter. Nethery's got it at the top of the circle. Off to Pulse. Cross ice pass. Bouncing puck in the slot gets out of the way. Now Pulse knocks it back behind the net. Wrapped around to the near side. Nethery stops it there. Kick back. Nethery to the slot. Little backhand pass. Back to Zick. At the point. Off to Nethery. Shot. Blocked in front. Backhander. Unconnected to Poles. Heacock's got it in the corner, sends it towards the net, blocked in front. Now Cedar Rapids is going to come out. 2-on-3. Heacock with a nice back check. Zick's got it in the corner. Plays off to Heacock. Heacock ahead to Mueller. Mueller run off the puck at center ice. Riders will get it and dump it back in just to the right of Stoll. Zick in the corner now. Rubbed off the puck from behind the net. Kicked out to the front. Shot. Blocked in front. Another rebound. Loose puck. Saved by Stoll. Still loose. Goal. So the Riders strike first blood. Penalty expires. Little mass confusion in the corner that trickled out to the crease. I believe that's, Xander Boatman. First to the 5-by line. Safe to assume he got the goal. Puck's down. Seegers plays it up. Battled in front. Now back to Seegers. Seegers up to Deutsch. Deutsch will dump it into the zone. They'll go to claim it behind the goal line. Weiner knocks his man off the puck. He's got it in the far corner. Wrapped up to the far side. Now it's kicked back. Wyatt Kleesner puts it on net just wide. Wraps run to the near side. It's Blaze Seeger. Dumps it down to the corner. Weiner's got it there. He's stripped down. And we're going to get a call for that. Two minutes for tripping. Emphatically signaled by referee Fox. So 5:55 left in the first period. Saints will go back on their second penalty. Shots are 4-4 in this 1-0 lead by Cedar Rapids. Sheehy in for the faceoff again. Puck's down into the corner. Cedar Rapids has it. Bangs it out. Blocked there by Deutsch. He'll spin. Feed over to Heacock. Heacock back to Ruiz. Ruiz top of the circle. Blocked in front. Puck out behind the net. Sheehy's got it there. Back to Heacock. Heacock over to Ruiz again. Top of the circle. Sends it to the slot area. Backhander by Pierce. Loose in front. Cleared out to Deutsch. Knocks it down. Ruiz has got it at the blue line. Still controls. Gives off to Deutsch. And we're loose. Back out to center ice. Ruiz has got it. Off to Heacock. Heacock gives off to Sheehy. Sheehy turns it over there too. Ruiz gets it back. He'll head back behind the net. Still got a man hanging all over him. Now it's Deutsch. Just across the blue line. Takes it into the zone. Drops it off there for Sheehy. Sheehy, top of the circle shot. Just off the side of the net. Off to Heacock now. Heacock will wrap it around behind the net. Sheehy's got it there. Pulls it off. On the other side, out in front. Crossbar for Heacock. Netherly now. Sends it in front, just wide of the net. Heacock on the far side. Off to Zick. Nethery in front. Blocked. Up into the netting for a whistle. 30 seconds left on this power play. Great opportunity for Heacock there. Hit the crossbar. Doesn't seem like he's happy with himself about it. Nethery in for the faceoff. Wins it over to Michael Poles. Poles drops off for Ben Zick. Poles sends it across ice to Cade Weiner. All alone, far blue line. Shot. Saved and kicked to the corner. Poles has got it there. Sends it back to Zick again. Held in by Weiner. 3-on-2. Nethery shot. Blocked in front by the defense. C.J. Mueller. Now it's Weiner walking down top of the circles. All the way down. Face-off dot. Centering pass. Redirected by Nethery. Couldn't quite get it in. Now it's Nethery in the corner. Down below the goal line. Taken by Cedar Rapids there. And that'll do it for the power play. Knocked down to the corner. Now Weiner battles for it on the far boards. Cedar Rapids big wind up for an ice. And they'll get it. So 3:42 left. It's Weiner in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Cedar Rapids has it in the slot. They'll play it off to the near side. Jones sends it across ice over to Kenny Wu. I think it's either Richard or Spencer, but Kenny's way funnier. Weiner sends it over to Pierce. Pierce turns it over at the red line. Weiner gets it back. Takes it into the zone. Battles for it there. Oh, just one man to beat it alone in the slot. Cedar Rapids back out to neutral ice. That looks like a patent. Sent down below the goal line. Liam Henry there. They're out. Deutsch has got it at the blue line. He'll send it into the attacking zone. Weiner lags behind, and Deutsch goes 1-on-3 and turns the puck over. Now Cedar Rapids back out through neutral ice. They'll take it into the attacking zone. Shot saved by Stoll. Now it's Deutsch again. Got Heacock with him. Shot high and wide up into the netting. Sheehy in for the faceoff now. Pulls, drops off for Seegers. Shot through the crease. Wraps onto the far side. It's Waddick. Waddick knocks it down the corner to Heacock. Heacock knocks it behind the net to Poles. Poles tries to get it back over to Heacock. Can't quite get it there. Sheehy in the slot. Sends it over. Heacock couldn't finish it. Heacock jiggles it around the back of the net. Sheehy will pressure it there. Holds off the puck. Poles has got it down on the boards. Cross ice pass. Just before it gets to Heacock, it's tipped. Now it's Waddick. Fires it down the boards, down below the goal line. Poles picks it up there, takes a monster hit. Stolen in front by Sheehy, all over the slot. Saved by the Cedar Rapids goaltender. Sheehy's scoring struggles from Mason City have followed him home. The other day in for the faceoff. Duke wins. Kicks it back to Wyatt Kleeser at the point. Dumped on net. Saved by the goaltender. Getting his name. Ruiz fires it on net. Another save. Loose puck. Covered in front. Now they're in for the faceoff again. Puck down. Knocked back behind the Cedar Rapids net. Pole steals it there. Tries to send it out in front. It's Boatman. He'll carry it out through neutral ice. Back checked by Nethery. Dumped down below the goal line. He'll win the race. Kicked out in front. Loose puck. Blocked by the Dubuque D. Knocked over to the far corner. Weak shot. Bounces around the back of the net. Dubuque will now control. Nico Ruiz sends it up. In front of CJ Mueller. Couldn't quite see it there. Now it's Knapp. Back up the middle. Cedar Rapids takes it into the zone. Gavin Netherly gets it out to center ice. CJ Mueller can't control a bouncing puck. Cedar Rapids now back through neutral ice. Gets into the zone. Stolen there by Nolan Pierce. Regrouped by Cedar Rapids. Sent to the high slot. Taken back by Dubuque. And Cade Weiner will carry it out the far side. He's got to step on everyone. Steps pushed off the puck though now. Zick dumps it down into the corner. Weiner's got it there. Pierce with a little help. He'll walk it up the boards. Zick knocks it back in. Pierce sends it to the far corner, where Weiner will dig for it behind the net. Rubs his man off the puck. Knocked loose, and Cedar Rapids has it. Carrying it up the middle. Held just in. And Cedar Rapids will collect it on the near boards. Across center ice. They'll dump it in. And that'll do it on the first period. So after one, score is 1-0. Shots in favor of the Saints, 13-5. Just about underway here in the second period. Sheehy, Heacock, and Poles will take the ice for the Saints. Puck's down, we're ready to go. Cedar Rapids controls in their own zone. Send it up through center ice. Plays Seegers, dumps it back into the zone. We'll get an icing call. Puck's down. Good controls. Sheehy clears the zone out to center ice. Riders will dump it back into their own attacking zone. Sheehy now at the steal. He's got Poles in front of him. Seems like a hook there. What do I know? Sent out through center ice. Cedar Rapids has it now. Held back in by Heacock. Cedar Rapids will control it to defense. Play it up to the red line. Boatman will carry it in. Dropped off there. All in the slot. Loose puck. Now it's knocked loose. Cedar Rapids regains control. Top of the circles. Played back to the D. Stopped by Sheehy in the center. And he'll carry it up the middle. Drops it off for Poles. Just a step in front of him. Cedar Rapids now out to center ice. Just under the stick of Gavin Netherly. Nico Ruiz will pick it up and circle in his own defensive zone. He'll bring it up with some speed through center ice. Kick back to the Cedar Rapids defense. They look a lot like Waterloo with those black uniforms. Dumped in, all the way in. Ruiz will pick it up and circle behind the net. Off the boards, just ahead of Waddick. Poles has got it there. Taken by Waddick. Now back to Ruiz, off to Henry. Henry sends it up. Waddick gets a piece of it, knocks it into the zone. Played off the boards, out to center ice. And we'll get a whistle. Now they're in for the face-off. Puck's down. Clock started. Knocked into the zone. Jumps over the stick of Spangler. Ruiz will pick it up in the corner. Takes it behind the net. Netherly chips it up. Ahead to Chase Poles. Poles has it stolen there. Now it's knocked along the near boards. Straight up in the air. Glove down by Ruiz. Loose puck in the slot. Ethan Waddick on the far side. Sends it up to the point. Knocked back in temporarily. Waddick gets another stick on it. Ruiz tries to knock his man out the puck. Squirts to the slot where Spangler gets control. Plays it up to Chase Poles. He'll carry it across the blue line. Dumps it in from the red line. Wraps around the back of the net. Cedar Rapids now with control in the far corner. They'll play it up the far side, out to center ice. Deutsch with it. Carries it into the attacking zone with a little speed. Bends towards the net. Cuts. Loose puck in front. Nothing there. Kicked out to Zick. Zick shoots. Hits 17 things in front. And Cedar Rapids will clear the zone. Big hit right in front of. Oh, there's a goal. Big goal by Nolan Pierce. I was about to comment on the big hit in front of the Dubuque or the Cedar Rapids bench. While I wasn't looking, Nolan Pierce snuck one in and buried it top shelf in the corner. So the Saints even the score at 1-1. Puck's down. Saints will force it into the zone on the far side. Waddick carries into the zone now, takes it to the wide side, forces it down the boards. Puck comes loose and they'll carry it back out. Weiner steals it just before they get to the blue line. He'll force it back down into the corner. Cedar Rapids will bang it out. Alex Waddick with a nice hold, fires it down into the corner, just over the head of Pierce. Now Cedar Rapids in the far corner. Squirts out to the blue line. Two Saints players run into each other. It's never a good sign. Played up the near side. Again, held in just enough by Weiner. Deutsch from the corner out to the front. Jumps over a stick. It's been the story of the day. Now Cedar Rapids with some numbers and some speed up through center ice. Dumps it down into the corner. Seegers will play it there. Crossed ice off to Heacock. Heacock dumps it into the zone. Seegers will chase it in. He'll be the first man to get to it behind the net. Knocked loose though, but Cedar Rapids has it now. Play it across ice off to Sheehy, back covering for Seegers. Sheehy will go back to the corner. Reverses his field. He'll take it up the far side. We're on two. Into the zone he'll go. Knocked off a stick at the goal line. Continues to battle behind the net there. Now it's knocked behind the net. Cedar Rapids will control. Back through the slot. Knocked out to center ice. It's Liam Henry. Slides off his stick. He'll backhand it up to Sheehy. Sheehy sends it across. Fires it in front of their own bench. Cedar Rapids now with control. Up the middle. Untouched. For an ice. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Cedar Rapids goaltender. Now they're in for the face-off. He's got Mueller with him. Wins the puck to him. Now to back to Netherly. Shot goes wide. Cedar Rapids has got it. They'll bring it up through center ice. Dumped it into the zone. Wraps all the way around the back of the net. Chase Poles will battle forward to the near side. Gets a piece of it. Knocks it loose. And he's got it back out to center ice. Poles now. Knocked down from behind. So a lot of unnecessary hitting going on here. I'm not sure anyone's really trying to play the puck. Cedar Rapids now. Kenny Wu. Shot blocked in the slot. Wrapped around behind the net. It's Ruiz. Ruiz from the far corner. He'll take it up the far side. Got Mueller in front of him. Mueller just peels off. Ruiz takes it down to the corner. Battle for behind the goal line. Now it's Chase Poles in to help out. CJ Mueller steps in. Fires it up to Liam Henry. Henry off to Poles. And Cedar Rapids has it. Back out to center ice. Dumped in. They'll go for a change. Stoll gets a piece of it. Slows it down. Stolen by Cedar Rapids in the corner. They'll continue to battle for it there. Pierce walks out. Right up to the slot. Turns and heads up ice. Right down the middle. Knocked off his stick there. Cedar Rapids will counter. Back out to neutral ice. They'll take it in the zone. Stolen by Spangler there. Played back behind the net. Ruiz plays it off to Spangler. Turned over there. Cedar Rapids has it. High slot. Plays it out. Loose in the slot. It's Weiner up the far side. In front of the scores table. Tries to play it ahead to Waddick. Can't quite get there. Cedar Rapids on the counter. Back into the neutral zone. Shot on net. Saved by Stoll. Kicked off for Ruiz. Played off to Waddick. Off his stick out to center ice. Cedar Rapids now. 3-on-2. Sent through the slot. Couldn't quite get a shot off. Heacock backhands it up. Out to the blue line. Cedar Rapids will wrap it back down behind the goal line. Nico Ruiz plays it off to Cam Spangler. Spangler ditches off to Heacock. Heacock hits Weiner. At the red line, he's going. He's 1-on-3, and he turns it over. That's Boltman now. Carries it into the slot. Stolen. Knocked down there. Shot. Saved by Knapp. Or shot by Knapp. Saved by Stoll. Michael Poles knocks it loose. Out to the blue line. Cedar Rapids sends it towards the net. Just wide of Stoll. Now it's Heacock. Heacock bangs it up to center ice. It's on the back of the net there, and Ruiz will be happy for a faceoff. We'll get the Netherly line with Poles and Mueller. They'll be backed by Zick and Waddick. Puck's down. Cedar Rapids controls. Shot from the top of the circle. Blocked in front. Held in by Cedar Rapids. They'll dump it off to Kenny Wu. Centering pass. Loose puck. Saved by Stoll. I believe that was a Patton. Out to neutral ice. Cedar Rapids will dump it back in on delayed offsides. Gives Waddick a little time to carry it out. Takes a big hit at the blue line. Dumped into the zone now. Mueller will go in. Wrapped around to the near side. Held in by Zick. Dumped back in. Played around the backside. Netherly will be the first one to the puck there. Dumps it down below to go in. Chase Poles tries to send it to the slot. Nobody home. Off of Mueller's stick. Bouncing puck. Cedar Rapids sends it to the near pole. It's Kenny Wu up the near side. Waddick has it there. Gets it around one. Poles has got it with a little time in the corner. Tries to center it. Ben Zick sends it ahead to Xander Sheehy. Sheehy carries into the zone. He's 1-on-4. Shot. Goal! 1-on-4. What difference does it make, right? So Sheehy with a nice shot out of the box. Beats the goaltender on a little floppy shot. And the Saints regain the lead, 2-1. Loose puck, battle for at the faceoff dot. Zick gets the face or assist on that Sheehy goal. Saints do a little bit of stacking on the line here. We've got Sheehy out with Deutsch and Pierce. That's not the normal configuration. Puck's down. And it's knocked to the corner. Cedar Rapids will take it behind the net. Throw it out to the blue line. Patton can't hold it in there. He'll go D to D. Cedar Rapids fires out the middle. Tipped by Pierce. Bouncing puck. We're going to get a hand pass. You can't do that here. Puck's down again. Spangler's got it now on the near side. Cedar Rapids controls in their own zone. They'll bring it up through neutral ice. Big unnecessary hit there at Heacock on the blue line. Just a little slow to get up. Weiner's got it now. Battles for it just inside the zone. Puck's loose in the slot. Cedar Rapids has it. A little backhanded shot. No good. Played around the back of the net. Now it's Zick. Wrapped her up to the far side. That's Spangler. She'll try and play it ahead to Mueller. Mueller gets it out of the zone. He's got it along the near boards. Takes it into the zone. Tries to take it wide behind the net. Big chop there. Sends a kid flying. Don't want to get hit by the train. Don't stand on the tracks. I think it's safe to say the physicality of this game has picked up just a scotch. Loose puck out to center ice. Liam Henry's there. Plays it into Cam Spangler's shins. Those are hard to catch. Walked around one. Shot. Loose puck. Saved by Stoll. Cedar Rapids with some time in the corner. They send it to the front. Henry wraps it around the near boards. Cedar Rapids now applying a little pressure. They've got it in the corner. A little time to work. Down the goal line. Kicked off to the boards. Sent off the side of the net. Now it's loose. That's all kinds of trouble. Cleared from the slot by Mueller all the way out to the defensive zone. Loose puck controlled by Netherly in the corner. Big hit there. Knocked off the puck. Clean hit, but doesn't hurt any less. There's a slash. Michael Poles. Big Michael Poles headed to the bench. It's an elbow that fouled up there by Big Kenny Wu. So Michael Poles headed to the bench.
2 minutes for slashing.
2 minutes for slashing.
Remaining in the second period. Putting your Big Saints on the Donnie's Cafe penalty kill.
Pierce and Deutsch will come out for the penalty. Cedar Rapids has it. Deutsch has got it, carries it through neutral ice, dumps it down the length of the ice. It'll go back behind the net. Cedar Rapids will pick it up there. Played it to the far corner. Circled back behind the net. And they'll carry it up to the near side, into the zone. Nico Ruiz will send it the length of the ice. Cedar Rapids will pick it up behind the net. Played out to center ice. Cedar Rapids will take it into the zone. Hops off Napstick. Big hit there by Ruiz. Deutsch pulls it down to the corner. Can't quite control. Now Ruiz has got it. Tries to clear it out. Controlled by Cedar Rapids momentarily. And Deutsch knocks it out to center ice. Cedar Rapids now behind their own net. Played up into center ice. Nice fake shot. Held in temporarily. Now Cedar Rapids loose in the slot. Ruiz has it. Clears the zone. Deutsch knocks it the length of the ice. Cedar Rapids will collect it from behind their own net. 30 seconds left on their power play. Heacock and Sheehy out to press the issue. Cedar Rapids now through center ice. All the way back. Henry will go back and get it from the goal line. Hard off the boards. It'll go all the way down to the goal line. Now only 15 seconds left on that power play. Patton's got it behind the net. He's perfectly content to just let that power play kill back there, as are we. Carried it up to center ice.
Dubuque at full strength.
Saints back to full strength. Wrapped around the back of the net. Kicked out. Sheehy's got it there in the slot. Clears the zone off the poles. Sheehy draws a penalty. Dumped into the zone, and Patton will tag out for an icing. And a trip coming Cedar Rapids' way.
In the second period, putting your Dubuque Saints back on the FXB Dubuque power play.
General Kellen Patton headed to the bench, or box, 2 minutes. Cedar Rapids gets a nice late change there. That's beneficial. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Cedar Rapids wins it into the corner. They'll try and bang it up. Held in at the blue line by Ruiz. He'll fire it down to Weiner. Stolen there. Kicked out to the center ice. Sheehy feeds it over to Weiner. Weiner carries into the zone. He'll walk it to the high slot. Shot wide of the net. Loose puck on the goal line. Knocked back below the goal line there. Sheehy's got it in the corner. Feeds it back to Deutsch. Deutsch walks it down to the faceoff dot. Sends it around the net behind to Cade Weiner. Jumps off his stick. He gets it off to Sheehy though. Oh. Pierce had it. Shot wide of the net. Wraps around the far boards to Deutsch. Deutsch now walks it down. Blocked in front. 8 seconds left. Boltman's got a breakaway. Ruiz is trying to run him down. Shot saved by Stoll. 1 second left in the period. Saints will have 1 second to kill off here. Riders look like they'll pull their goalie for this 1 second. Certainly not impossible to score. Just really, really hard. The shooter's got to win the faceoff basically right towards the net. Sheehy's job should just be to eat it. And he does. And that'll do the end for Sheehy's stick also.
There goes $200 for Jason.
Yeah. So after 2 periods, Saints are ahead 2-1. Shots on goal in favor of the Saints, 16-12.
Expensive 1 second ever.
We'll take a break here, examine the ice. See you back in 20 minutes. Just about underway here in the third period. The Saints will start on a power play. They'll send up Ruiz, Weiner, Deutsch, Sheehy, and Pierce. Puck's down. Ruiz has got it. Sends it cross ice to Weiner. Weiner through center ice. Into the corner. Gives back off to Ruiz. Ruiz over to Weiner. Weiner down in the corner. Walks out. Shot. Saved by the goaltender. Cedar Rapids controls behind the net. They'll send it the length of the ice towards Stoll. Stoll with a harder save than it needed to be. Ruiz now from behind the blue line sends it ahead again to Weiner. Weiner carries it through center ice. All the way down into the corner. Walks around the back of the net. Continues to hold on to the puck. Gives off to Zick. Zick sends it to the slot. Pierce, goal. Nice speed off from Weiner over to Pierce. Pierce bar downs it into the corner, and the Saints jump out to a 3-1 lead on the power play goal.
On the power play, Dubuque Saints goals from number
Puck's
16,
down.
Nolan Pierce. Assisted by number 17.
Duke has it. Ben Zick sends across the ice to Chase Bowles. Bowles carries into the zone. Top of the circle. Shot just wide of the net. Wraps around to the near side. Now that he's got it there. Jumps by him. Now it's out to center ice. The Rapids have it. Fired on net. Saved by Stoll. Kick to the high slot. Who's puck? Shot wide of the net. Wraps around to the far side. Now again fired towards the net. Just wide of the net. Cedar Rapids third. Maybe their fourth line. Haven't seen most of these numbers. Spangler tries to send it ahead to Pulse. Gets loose from him. Bounce to Stoll. He'll cover. He'll get a whistle. Some fresh legs from both teams. Sheehy in for the faceoff. Cedar Rapids controls. Pulls with a nice block at the point. Loose in the slot. Knocked loose by Seegers. Sent back to the front. Heacock's got it on the near boards. He'll send it ahead. Sheehy gets a piece of it, but not quite enough. Taken back by Cedar Rapids. They'll dump it into the zone. Seegers has got it. Sends it up to Sheehy. Sheehy on the boards in front of the scores table. Can't quite get into the zone. Cedar Rapids controls. They'll get it back out to center ice. I'm not running the clock. Played around the back of the net. Over to Heacock. Heacock sends it back to Henry. Henry now in the near corner. Centering pass to no one. Goes the length for an icing. Saints will send out Weiner, Pierce, and Deutsch. Backed by Kleesner and Ruiz. Cedar Rapids player throw it out. Cedar Rapids loses the faceoff back behind the goal line. Weiner turns it over there. Kleesner plays it up ahead. Pierce gets it around his man. Deutsch with the step. Tries to get it back to Pierce. Can't quite do it. Wrap back to Ruiz, who gets a shot. Just quickly eaten up by the Cedar Rapids goalie. He's got a fairly common name that I can't remember. And I can't see. Weiner in for the faceoff. Puck's down. Back to Deutsch. Deutsch over to Ruiz. Ruiz for the shot. Bouncing puck into the goal. Goaltender got a piece of it. Not quite enough. The Saints run their lead to 4-1 with 12:08 left in the third period. We'll get Nethery out with Mueller and Waddick on the far side. Zick's got it in the corner now. Carries it up through center ice. Off the boards, off to C.J. Mueller. He'll dump it in the zone. Nethery go to chase. Cedar Rapids has it. Stolen there by Waddick. Sent out in front by Nethery. Saved by the Cedar Rapids goalie, and they'll bring it up the near side. Centering pass knocked down by Waddick. Zick sends it back to the middle. Cedar Rapids picks it up, takes it into the zone. Takes it to the faceoff dot. Shot wide over the net. Stoll. Wrapped around the back of the neck. It's Waddick to go get it. Plays ahead to Waddick. Kicks it ahead to Mueller. Mueller skates over the top of the puck. And Cedar Rapids has it the other way. Knocked down below the goal line. They'll try and play it up the near boards. Heacock's there. Battles for it. Cedar Rapids now plays it to the near side. Back up the middle. Spangler has it. She'll play it ahead to Heacock. Heacock tips it into the zone. Both him and Poles will give chase. They'll backhand it around Poles up to Henry. Henry sends it towards the net. Catches the goalie just a little off guard. Heacock behind the net. Sent out to the slot. Xander Sheehy shot blocked. He's got it in the corner. Centering pass. Heacock's got it there. Heacock with a shot. Save covered.
It's like Jackson's third or fourth chance I've had.
Heacock just unlucky today. Gets a bouncing puck, and that time he had a good shot but got hooked and held his stick out. Sheehy steps in for the faceoff, flanked by Poles and Heacock. Wins the faceoff. Heacock's got it in the corner. Sends it around the back of the net. Cedar Rapids will pick it up there. They'll play it up the near side, out to center ice. Excuse me. Sent back behind the net. Stoll will pick it up there. Leaves it for Spangler. Spangler walks up the near boards. Skates around Poles. Takes it into the zone. Knocked out the puck there. Sheehy's got it now. Centering pass out to the front. Saved by the goaltender and kicked to the corner. Now straight up in the air. Knocked out to center ice. Rapids dumps it into the zone. Bounces around to the far side. Patton tries for a big hit. Can't quite get it. Now Heacock. Out to the blue line. Carries it into the zone. Dumps it in. Sheds a check. We'll get a change. Cedar Rapids now behind the net. Weiner knocks him off the puck. Battles for it in the corner. Another big hit. Weiner knocks it back to the blue line. Pierce has got it there. Cross ice pass to nobody. Cedar Rapids has it. They've got a man on the far side that they don't see, thank God. Deutsch tries to get out of the zone. Can't do it. Boatman walks down. Top of the slot. In the circle. Saved by Stoll. Played off to Pierce. Pierce sends it to no one. Knocked down by Cedar Rapids. They'll take it all the way back to their zone. Pierce makes life hard for him. Weiner walks in. Kicks it off the side of the net. Run off the puck behind the net. Now it's Pierce. Back to Ruiz. Ruiz shot on net. Blocked in front. Jumps over the stick of Deutsch. Deutsch has got it there. Sends it again to Ruiz. Ruiz again with a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Played down into the corner. Gets around Pierce behind the net. Seegers knocks it down to the corner. Pierce has got it there. Sends it up front. Puck loose in the slot. Cedar Rapids pitchfork out to center ice. Ruiz has got it in his own defensive zone. Plays it ahead to Deutsch. Deutsch through center ice with a little speed. Runs into 5 Cedar Rapids players. Sends it towards the net. It's stolen there. Cedar Rapids off to the side. Now it's Nethery down in the corner. Walks around one. Takes it towards the net. He's just beaten up behind the net is the best way to say that. Pass goes unconnected all the way back to Ruiz, back at the blue line. He'll send it back up to Netherly. Bounces off his stick into the attacking zone. Chase Bowles gives it a nice poke. Now it's knocked back to center ice. Mueller's got it there. Takes it in the zone. Heads for the net. Head down. Puck's in the slot. Loose puck. Shot. Oh, that hit the post. The goaltender just tried to take. Oh! get a. What are we calling that? Just out of curiosity. Charge? Yeah, that was a shoulder into the chest clean hit. I'm curious. 2 minutes for roughing. Okay.
And unless he didn't have the puck, but I thought he did.
Yeah. The consensus among people in the booth is this is a bad call. They're probably not going to ask our opinion, but that's what we think. So Netherly will go to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. Sheehy and Heacock will step out on the penalty kill. I'll start the clock. Cedar Rapids controls on the near board, so I'll get it back to the blue line. Dumped into the near corner, wraps around behind the net. Zick applies the pressure there. Sheehy on the near boards. Zick helping out. Sent back behind the net. Kleesner's got him on the far side, locked up. Back to the blue line. Goes D to D. Back to the other D. Tries to walk around one. Sheehy knocks the puck loose. Off to the near boards. They'll kick it back to the blue line. Heacock there. Now Kleesner sends it the length directly into Blondin, who feels no pain. Cedar Rapids up to the near side. Kicks it out to the middle. It's a big boat. Was in the perfect shooting angle and passed. Hate when they do that. Back to the blue line. Drop down to the near boards. Knapp wraps it around the boards. All the way down to the far corner. Sent back to the point. Cross ice pass stolen by Pierce. Pierce has got a step. 1-on-1. Hits the brakes. Cuts for the slot. Shot. Goal. Goal. Shorty. Shorty hat trick. Coach Joe is throwing his head on the ice. I can see from the reflection of his bald head. So Saints stretch the lead to 5-1 on the shorthanded goal by Nolan Pierce.
Short-handed goal, unassisted for the hat trick. Number 16, Nolan Pierce.
Puck knocked into the zone. Deutsch will go down to get it on the goal line.
7 of the third
Sends it behind the net. Cedar Rapids now controls. They'll bring it up the near side. Ejection button there on the Riders player. Shot high up into the net for a whistle. 30 seconds left on that Netherly penalty as the Saints clinging to a 5-1 lead. Shots on goal in favor of the Saints, 25-19. Sheehy back out. He's on for the faceoff. Puck's down. Back to the Cedar Rapids defense. They'll go D to D. Shot from the point. Underneath someone in the middle. Tried to clear by Heacock. He's held in there. Bouncing puck in the slot. Henry sends it around the boards. No one's at the point here. It'll squirt all the way out to center ice. Sheehy comes in, puts a body on Patton, makes him give it to Heacock. Heacock dumps it in behind the goal line. And he'll also apply the pressure as they try and bring it up the near side. Heacock again, making life hard for him. Set up the middle. Spangler's got it there. Plays it ahead. We get a touch on the other side. No icing. Mikey pulls beyond the net. Heacock quick triggers it on the far side of the net. I just reset the score. That's a bummer. It's back. So Sheehy, Heacock, and Pulls will stay out there, backed by Seegers and Waddick. Puck's down. Cedar Rapids controls. Nope. Sheehy's got it in the corner, sends it out to the slot. Loose puck. Fired just wide. Sheehy now below the goal line. He'll walk it up the near side. Cuts back towards the goal. Walks around one. He's got it on the goal line. Behind the net. Sends it out in front. Loose puck. Bounce over Heacock's stick again. Set the puck. Cedar Rapids through center ice. Knocked loose by Sheehy. Now he's got it there. Batted on the near boards. Heacock's got it. Sheehy walks away with it. He pulls. 2-on-1. One comes off the bench. Sheehy with a shot. Pops straight up in the air. Down below the goal line. Poles will stay in and be pesky. Chase Poles jumps in. Sent the length. No icing. Sagers will go back to get it. Wrapped around the back to Waddick. Waddick up to Poles. Pulls off to Netherly. Netherly out to center ice. Cedar Rapids controls. They'll go D to D. Loose puck. Battle for in the far corner. Knocked out to the blue line. Waddick clears the zone. Out to center ice. Patton's got it in his own defensive zone. Netherly applies the pressure. Dots away from him. Out to center ice. Poke loose. Waddick's got it there. Off the board, Tar all the way back to Patton. Walked around one. Dumped in the zone. Sheehy's got it in front of his own bench. Gets it head to Pulls. Pulls back, forks it into the net, or into the zone. Cedar Rapids will dump it in. Stowe will go back, stop it behind the net. Ruiz will pick it up there. Plays off to Waddick. Waddick kicks off to Sheehy. Sheehy plays it up the near boards. Centering pass just ahead of Heacock. Heacock turns it over. Cedar Rapids will come the other way. Up through center ice. Cedar Rapids now in the corner. Battles for it. Micah Poles down in the corner. Forces it to the near side. Now it's back to the point. Sent through the middle. Pops straight up in the air into the netting for a whistle. Saints will send out Mueller and Chase Poles to join the line mate Gavin Netherly. Those three will be backed by Ben Zick and Wyatt Kleesner. Netherly in for the faceoff. Puck's down. It's Ben Zick carrying it up the near zone in front of the benches. Walks all the way down. Feathers it to the middle. Mueller has a piece of it but loses his stick. Stolen by Netherly. That's offsides. No, I did all that time to fix the clock, and then I forgot to start it. 2:41 left in regulation. Shots are 27-20 in favor of the Saints. The lopsided score also benefiting the Saints 5-1.
Gavin's hit is a penalty. How is that not a penalty when that's 20 feet away from the puck?
A videographer is questioning the logic of the refs. That will do no one any good. Sent to the far side. Kleesner's got it there. Plays it ahead to Netherly. Netherly's got Mueller in front of him. Doesn't pass it. That'll tick him off. Oh, there's a trip that could have been called from space, but Henry sends it down below the goal line. Patton's got it there behind the net. Plays it up the near side. Sheehy steals it. Walks around one. He's on the goal line. Behind the net. Taken back by Cedar Rapids. They'll go back around the net. Sheehy takes it back. Knocked off the puck. Wrapped around to the near corner. They'll try and break it out. Heacock steps in. He's got it in the slot. Pops straight up in the air and run over with head contact. Yeah. Yeah. Head contact. That's a rough. So Heacock being told he's at Mystique Ice Arena on a Saturday. He's like, yeah, I got that. And sent off because he's not on. Oh, no, this isn't the power play unit. Who's this? Away. So, General Patton will go to the box 2 minutes.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
Cross-checking. He signaled roughing.
In the third period.
Puck's down.
Saints back on the FXB Dubuque power play.
Netherly's got it just outside the blue line. Turned over there to Boatman. Netherly's got it now. Cross ice pass over to Mueller. Mueller with some speed. Skates himself offside. I'm not sure how he did that. That's amazing. Cedar Rapids takes it back. Sent all the way down. Zick will go back to get it. Collected behind the net. Heacock's got it now. Takes it around the back of the net. Battles for it in the corner. Gives off to Deutsch. Deutsch knocked into the boards. Heacock's got it. Knocked out the puck there. Squirts back out to Deutsch. Deutsch, big wind up on a shot. Save. Kick to the corner. Ruiz has got it. Fires it down to Heacock. Heacock across ice to Deutsch. Deutsch gives back to Zick. Zick over to Heacock. Top of the circle shot. Off the post. Ain't that a kick in the head? Heacock sends it in. It's gloved down there. Sent out to the middle. This isn't good. Foot race. Mueller wins. Knock to the center. Ruiz has got it there. He'll circle behind his own net. 20 seconds left in the game. Weiner's got it. Carries it across the blue line. Up through center ice. Into the attacking zone. Takes it wide. Circles back at the goal line. Fires it. Loose puck. And that's the game. Final score. Dubuque Saints 5. Rough Riders 1. Shots on goal ended up being 29-20 in favor of the Saints. That'll do it for our weekend of hockey at JV. Saints will wrap up their season next Friday at Cedar Rapids. Hope to see you there. We'll be back in about 30 minutes for the varsity contest.